A note on the autobiography of Nicolae Ceausescu, a documentary about the life of two dictators. Nicolae Ceausescu is, of course, in the title, and he has the leading role. But then he was joined in a later stage, by his wife, and she figures prominently in this very good documentary. Very good, with a caveat for those who live outside the system. I would say it's a great work for the voters, sympathizers of Jean-Luc Mélenchon in France, maybe even Bernie Sanders, and other men and women in the world who promote leftist or extreme leftist ideas of the extreme left. They should see what communism looks like. I mean, I certainly wish for them to live for a while in such conditions, and then we'll see what they think about it. Yes, of course, many of them go with that line, stupid as it is. It's communism is not wrong, it's good, divide between everybody, and it's just Ceausescu and others, the people applied it wrong. Well, as it happens, there is no place in the world now in history where it worked. So you have to realize that the system is wrong. That's the way it is. Animal farm, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And stupid men, there were some women who climbed up in the hierarchy. Elena Ceausescu is an example, but still almost always in the shadow of the men leading this show, terrible show. And then there's the joke, if one is not a communist when young, one has no heart. But if one is still a communist when old or older, he has no brains. And this film is a good example. They have footage from the archives with Ceausescu talking. He didn't even know how to talk. He couldn't say friends. He said prieten for prieten, and other such elementary, basic mistakes. We could see after '89, after the revolution, that they had basically no education. I think the wife is supposed to have finished 2-3 classes maybe, and she was lousy. She had very bad grades. But in such a regime, in a communist regime, she was called a dear academician, member of the academy, where the creme de la creme is supposed to be, doctor, engineer, a scientist of world renown. And there will be universities in the world who would give her some honorary titles, or maybe even real fake, real papers saying for money, or I don't know what. This is, I must say, it's obvious by now, I'm very biased. All my life will be marked by this. I lived for a little over 20 years in this regime, and I'm not saying that's wasted, but I was living in a cage. And not only that, we still have to pay the price. We are where we are, behind in so many ways, from financial to transportation. From the mentality, people are affected. At the level of the people, we have what Martin Seligman called in his positive psychology works learned pessimism, learned helplessness. And to end with a joke which explains the regime, supposedly it's more complicated, but I'll cut it short, just maybe the idea, the basic line, maybe the punchline in a way. He's going on a visit to the US, and they say, look, when they show him around, technology, phone, the X phone was just launched yesterday. It wasn't in his day, but anyway, there was this phone, a direct line with heaven. He tries to talk, there's no one he knows in heaven, but then we also have a line with hell. So he talks with someone in hell, I don't know, Stalin, Lenin, bodies. And for 5 minutes the bill is $50,000, something like that. He's very keen on the technology on the phone, buys the copyright maybe, or just steal it somehow and puts it in function back home. Anyway, he talks for hours. He's so thrilled, talks for hours with hell. And at the end, the bill, the operator says, yes sir, you ended your call, the bill is 50 lei. 50 lei at that time, something like $2. And he said, how come? In America I paid the conversation with hell 5 minutes, $50,000, and here I paid $2 for 5 hours. Yes sir, but it was a local call. So in other words, the propaganda, like in North Korea, had it that this is heaven, we're living in a communist paradise, and capitalism is going down the drain, hell. But we all knew this is actually hell. I'm trying to end it.